Hey everyone, it's Josh and welcome back to your fourth stimulus package and news update. We have a lot of news to get into in today's video, but first, if you would like to receive 2 free stocks from Webull or 1 free stock from Robinhood, make sure to go ahead and claim either by clicking my links, which you will find in the description box below. Okay, so during a White House press briefing, Jim Psaki displayed the current economic growth with a 5.7% increase in GDP, which is the highest in nearly 4 decades.
Just a couple of items for all of you at the top. This morning we saw proof of the strength of President Biden's economy, with GDP figures showing our economy grew 5.7% last year. That's the fastest year of economic growth in nearly 4 decades, and the first time in 20 years that we grew faster than China. This is a direct result of the president's economic strategy. We're creating good jobs for Americans, rebuilding our manufacturing, and strengthening our supply chains here at home to help make our companies more competitive. And we're rebuilding an American economy for the 21st century. Companies are investing in new manufacturing lines and factories here in the United States. With recent announcements of Intel in Ohio and GM in Michigan, we're making the future in America again. The president is going to Pittsburgh tomorrow. Some of you, I'm sure, will be joining him on that trip. And he'll be talking about how far we've come in getting our economy moving again, making more right here in America, and ensuring all workers benefit. He'll highlight the 367,000 manufacturing jobs that our economy has created since he took office, and he'll underscore the vital role the federal government can play in bringing workers and businesses together. And the president is going to call in Pittsburgh he's going to visit Pittsburgh. While he's visiting Pittsburgh, he's going to talk about our continued plans to out-innovate, outbuild, and outcompete the world with the sort of competitiveness legislation that he has long championed. Of course, we love charts, as you know here, so this is just a chart to show you all the direction of economic growth, which of course it is moving in the right direction. Also wanted to note that since November 1st, 14.5 million Americans have signed up for quality, affordable health care, including more than 10 million who enrolled through healthcare.gov, the highest numbers ever produced in an open enrollment period. This is in large part thanks to the American Rescue Plan, which did more to lower costs and expand access to health care than any action since the passage of the Affordable Care Act. And everyone has until January 31st to sign up for additional coverage.
Of course, to combat that, they've also managed to give us the highest inflation we've seen in 40 years also. American consumers, and especially the elderly on fixed income, have found it increasingly difficult to get by. And with many Americans now fleeing the dollar and investing in cryptocurrency instead, the White House now wants to begin regulating Bitcoin, just as a matter of national security. According to Barron's, the Biden administration is preparing to release an executive action that will task federal agencies with regulating digital assets, such as Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, as a matter of national security. The National Security Memorandum, expected to come in the next few weeks, would task parts of the government with analyzing digital assets and assembling a regulatory framework that covers cryptos, stablecoins, and NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, this person said. So go ahead and blow out the spending and create inflation, then crack down on Bitcoin, to which people have been fleeing to. How wonderful. In Build Back Better news, yesterday, progressive Democrats urged the Senate to pass the bill by March 1st.
We're calling on the Senate to pass Build Back Better by March 1st. And that is the date of the State of the Union, the President's State of the Union. That would be an opportunity for him to use that incredibly powerful pulpit to speak to the nation about the relief and the leadership that is in that act and in those provisions when we pass it.
Jayapal also released a statement saying, "Today we are calling for President Biden and Senate Democrats to pass the Build Back Better Act by March 1st, so the president can use the power of the State of the Union platform to share with the nation the relief that people will soon receive. This is both achievable and necessary. There is agreement among Senate Democrats on significant parts of this bill: climate action, the care economy, taking on big pharma's price gouging, and lowering healthcare costs. There is agreement on the need to reduce rising costs facing ordinary Americans, and that is exactly what Build Back Better does." The White House and congressional Democrats confronted the crisis of the pandemic to pass the historic American Rescue Plan, as well as the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, creating millions of jobs. It's past time to bring that same commitment to delivering Build Back Better. Of course, if it was up to just 48 Democrats to pass the bill, it probably would pass. The main reason for the bill being held up are the two moderate Democrats in the Senate, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, both who happen to be opposed to this package. So another Democrat progressive in the House, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, lashed out at Joe Manchin, saying that he has a different demand every single day and is making it tough for Democrats to pass Biden's agenda.
Yeah, last time I checked, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema were not self-styled socialists. What do you want to see happen to Build Back Better now? Is it dead? Because last night, former Obama advisor David Plouffe told me on this show that the Dems now basically have to just give Manchin what he wants, put what he wants in it, lose the rest. If you have to break it into chunks, do it. But you pass it and you run on whatever gets passed in November. Do you agree with that strategy?
Well, the complication with that is that that's already been done with Build Back Better. Manchin issued really a laundry list of requests and demands and changes to what he wanted to Build Back Better. The first, that was the story of 2020. He wanted it decoupled, he wanted it shrunk, he wanted it changed, and he was essentially catered to throughout this entire process. The issue that we have is that every day Senator Manchin wakes up, he has a different demand, and he wants to start over from scratch every single day. And so that is a quite difficult position to work with. This idea of just give him what he wants, he has been given everything that he wants. And so I believe that what the president some avenues, not just the president, but the party, that we really need to explore what are the alternative measures to either bring Senator Manchin to the table, or how do we start exploring elements of Biden's agenda that can move forward without Senator Manchin.
And of course, Joe Manchin blocked his own voting rights bill last week, the bill that he wrote. He blocked it from going through. So a point taken.
Of course, while progressive Democrats can continue urging Joe Manchin to push this thing through, but the state he represents, West Virginia, is saying otherwise. According to a recent poll, 72% of West Virginia voters actually support Manchin's decision to walk away from the Build Back Better negotiations over concerns about inflation. According to this poll, 66% of voters in key swing states such as Nevada and Arizona believe that Build Back Better will not make inflation any better, but in fact actually make it worse. So it's pretty clear at this point that most Americans are feeling inflation, whether it's at the grocery store, gas pumps, or wherever else. Also yesterday, a top House Democrat, James Clyburn, said he would be open to lowering the income cap for the child tax credit in order to win over Manchin's support. This, of course, would be if Manchin still wants any version of the bill to pass at all. Last year, in order to be eligible for the $250 or $300 monthly payments, you couldn't earn more than $75,000 as a single filer or $150,000 as a joint filer. For those that make more, they could be eligible for a reduced, phased-out payment. To that, Manchin has argued that the income should be lower in order to receive these payments. Manchin believes the payments should be more targeted. So it looks like Clyburn is saying, hey, in order to make sure the child tax credit is included in Build Back Better, maybe it would be better to let Manchin have his way with the income cap just to ensure it gets in the bill. But again, being that we may not see any version of the bill pass at all, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Again, if you would like to receive 1 free stock from Robinhood and 2 free stocks from Webull, make sure to go ahead and claim both of them by clicking my links, which you will find in the description box below. So once again, I do hope that everyone has a great and safe rest of their day. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.